As members of Gen Z, we are almost painfully aware of the problem of climate change. I mean, it's literally 80 degrees on Halloween right now. We've literally grown up with this issue. And countless studies have shown that we're not lacking in political willpower. The global climate movement is literally led by Gen Z. Look at Greta Thunberg. But still, it seems like our calls to action fall on deaf ears. So it's not a lack of political willpower. So what's the disconnect? Clearly, there's something else. Is it that we are led astray on climate solutions and we don't actually, understand how to demand from a unified front actions from our governments? People in the younger generations are facing climate doomism, where we just kind of feel like it's not worth it. Why are we wasting our time? Nothing's going to change. It's clear that this kind of doomism or anxiety about the actual solutions for climate change is impeding our ability to get anything done. I mean, this disunity around what we're going to demand out of our governments with our political willpower is hindering actually solving the issue. And it's more of an issue of narratives and stories that we tell about solutions and the phenomenon of new disinformation, especially on social media platforms, which literally target Gen Z, to make us very confused about how solutions should be implemented and what we should actually demand of our governments. So clearly, it's an issue of miscommunication, and we're unsure of what the actual validity is of climate solutions. We are pessimistic about our options, and we think that there's an issue with everything, and there is no good solution that can actually be implemented. I mean, this actually isn't the reality, but the way that our narrative is in the media and the way that our climate stories are told would have us believe this. This is a phenomenon of new disinformation about climate change, which attacks the climate solutions rather than the fact that it's an issue at all. We know that. It's incredibly effective, and to find out what effect it's having on how Gen Z views climate change and the solutions, we're going to talk to some of our peers here at Fordham University Lincoln Center and find out how they think about climate solutions. All right, could I just get your name?
You like my real name?
Yes.
My real name's Gianni.
All right, cool.
Ethan Downs.
My name's William.
Chris.
Are you aware of climate change as an issue, and how do you feel about it?
I'm very aware of climate change as an issue, and it's terrible because, I guess from a selfish perspective, my Christmases and winter seasons don't feel as long as they used to. Like the snow is not as cold. It doesn't last as long because it's always super hot. And I guess from a selfless perspective, it's messing up the world, We have droughts in certain areas and floods in other areas, so it's like really messing up, the globe.
Absolutely, I'm aware that climate change is an issue. Climate change, as itself is an issue, is very serious. It has a lot of very dire effects, but also it's exponentially making a lot of other situations worse when it comes to disaster relief, just situations in violence.
Are you doing anything yourself to address climate change?
Why would I work towards an issue I don't think is real? I'm a normal guy, I have other things to do than worry about climate change. I gotta pay my bills.
Okay.
I try to take electric cars.
I guess I could recycle. I guess post it on Instagram. Best case scenario for me, I'd have to get in a really high position of power to where I control power plants or some type of automobile or something, and then just find a way to switch the whole gas, oil, carbon dioxide use to energy use. I don't know if I can do much.
I avoid gas vehicles.
And I feel like everyone tries to recycle. I actually just released some social media postings, and I'm probably going to be releasing a blog post.
Okay, when I leave home, I turn off my air conditioning.
So you're very aware of the issue. Are you aware of anything that is being done to address climate change, either by governments or corporations? And how do you feel about their efforts?
Well, I feel like there are agreements and negotiations that are made that aren't necessarily disclosed to a general public.
Oh yeah, constantly. There are always governments and corporations trying to address these types of issues, but in terms of what they're actually doing, I feel that it really pales in comparison. Like, sure, a lot of times companies, they want to market themselves as, caring for the people, the environment, but it's just a way to make more money. So from what I'm seeing, I believe slowly things are getting better, but not fast enough.
When it comes to like policy or like actionable items, I feel like I don't know. There's a couple different things. I know there when changing of like administration on like a national like federal level. There's the Paris Climate Agreement. When it comes to like politics regarding like climate change, there's a lot of we should do something about it, and then like we're gonna flip and like reverse all these policies.
Okay, are you aware of any climate change solutions that have been proposed? And how do you feel about them? Do you think they're promising? Or do you think that they're kind of, never really going to work out actually? Like they're kind of improbable?
I remember there was this thing called the Green New Deal. I heard that there were a bunch of plans to reduce the amount of vehicles we use for travel, or I guess replace what we use, like the sources of energy. But I heard that the complaint was that how like taxes would increase, and
I would like to see records of like executives and CEOs in charge of particular corporations.
When it comes to like action stuff, a lot of the stuff I hear about is more like reactionary, like relief for disaster stuff with like FEMA in the United States, and a lot of like in terms of like stuff like we can actually do, I'm not that sure.
Yeah, so like we're adapting to things after they already happen rather than like mitigating the actual problem.
Exactly.
We're sort of like letting it get there, and then we're like, oh.
Yeah, like being more reactive than proactive.
Yeah. Okay, so do you feel powerless in implementing any of these proposed solutions that you envision? And why do you think that you are powerless?
Well, I don't think I'm powerless.
All right, so what are you going to do?
Well, I need more time.
What's wrong with the proposed solutions to climate change? Like, would that hurt you if we implemented, caps on CO2 emissions or any other solutions like solar?
I think, would it hurt me, who lives in America? Probably not terribly, but think about people around the world who like run on a gas economy and oil money. What happens to them?
I personally would need more time to establish myself in this world.
Okay.
To then be able to like implement and build relationships with people that would enable me to influence someone to make a specific decision, not with like the use of bribery, but like bribery. There's only so little or so much that an individual can do.
So you know the problem very well. You are aware of some solutions. You're aware of their drawbacks. So what do you think the actual disconnect is in problem and solution?
damn monies. It's always about damn monies. There's a lot of money involved in like certain corporations and certain governmental groups that benefit too much from how the world is. So I guess if they were to this cheesy way, either through a change of heart or some type of societal destabilization and like reboot, then I guess, we would find a solution. But the problem is the monies.
That's great. Thank you. Those are very good answers. That's good. Sir, how do you feel about climate change? Looks like climate change already got to him.
By the end of this century, if emissions keep rising, the average temperature on Earth could go up another 4 to 8 degrees. What I'm saying is the planet's on fucking fire. There are a lot of things we could do to put it out. Are any of them free? No, of course not. Nothing's free, you idiots. Grow the fuck up. You're not children anymore. I didn't mind explaining photosynthesis to you when you were 12, but you're adults now, and this is an actual crisis. Got it? Safety glasses off, motherfuckers.
We know about climate change. We've known about it since we were 12. Bill Nye is now telling us to act, but it seems like we all think we need to be in these positions of power with immense wealth in order to make any change. People who have vested interests in not acting on the climate crisis, such as big oil companies, are trying to keep us divided and confused about solutions. Waiting around doesn't hurt the people who profit off of the climate crisis. We can't give in to doomism of thinking that there's nothing we can do. We're in positions of power right now. We have a vote. We can organize. We just need to demand something from our governments. There are trade-offs in climate solutions. We can't ignore that. It's not all bad. Our lives are going to change, and they can change for the better. This isn't an individual issue. It's not going to be solved by carpooling more or taking an electric Uber or composting. They're nice to do to feel like you're part of a solution, but the real change is going to come from collective action. It's time that we actually work together and not suffer as individuals under this huge weight. We have all heard the countless rebuttals of calls for clean energy as hurting companies' bottom line. So whose bottom line do we actually care about? Is it the oil barons and the CEOs? Or is it our bottom lines and the fact that we have futures ahead of us? Think about it. We have so much to lose in this battle. It's clean air, it's, a livable city, it's a better economy for all of us. It's so many issues tied up in one, and we have the power right now to demand that our governments do better. We just need to actually agree on the solutions so that we can present a unified front. Sure, there's a lot of divisions among the youth, but on this issue, we can all agree that we want a future. So do we want to preserve the old and not have a future? Or do we want to present a new beginning for economies and the way that our governments are run? The possibilities are literally endless, and it's in our control entirely. So use your power, use your voice. Stand up, do something about it. Don't just complain from the sidelines that it's really hot on Halloween. We know why. We need to wake up and realize that solutions are possible, they're at our fingertips, and we just need to demand them. We need to take action.